Alright, this is Calibos. This would be episode 9 of Towncraft. As we left the last episode, I was collecting sap from these trees. I also, while we were out, between recording, I cleaned up this section. I have to be careful. It is actually more than open to hostile monsters. I also did some work over here in the IC2 section. I think I might have actually done that during the episode. Lots of squids. So I went and did a lot of mining. I've got a bunch of stuff. I found lead. There's tin, gold, copper. I smelted down a bunch of things. So at this point, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be smelt that all down. So as you'll notice, I made myself some checklists for exciting things that I'd like to accomplish in the future. Still need clay again. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that until I go to the Aqua Dimension, which, if you'll notice, I have Aqua Miner. So that means we can totally go to the Aqua Dimension, and I will probably try to do that on this episode. The other thing that happened is I got diamonds, which actually opens up another dimension. I'm not sure if I have access to it yet. Nope. So I don't have access to those two yet. I know that they are available at some point. So for the moment, I'm just going to toss them up there. Notice I made my drawers slightly more convenient. I'll probably do one for coal at some point. So I see 2 water mills. We have the rubber. It is now cooking. Here's 6. So the sap, you smelt it, obviously. When you're done smelting it, you get this rubber. You simply craft the rubber, and you have like crafted rubber, I guess. So if anybody recalls, we were looking at let's see, water mills from IC2. So it makes 2. We're currently looking at making 8 of these things. So we need 4 batteries, which means we need 4 insulated tin cables. So let's go grab some tin really quick. Here's some tin. That's a tin plate already. I also kind of generally move the things that I was working with over here for the purposes of the episode, because I knew if I put it over there, I would never find it again. Just going to make it all into that. One of the reasons I was collecting so much of it is we're going to have to probably get the power out of the water mills somehow. Otherwise, what would be the point? So, I just need some redstone, and then we'll make some batteries. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm trying to be careful about which one of these I select, because the Tech Reborn one isn't as compatible as far as that goes with IC2. I'm not precisely sure why I don't have enough of those. I've died, unfortunately. I keep being vastly tempted to turn, keep inventory on, and I have so far not done it. I also still have a battery. Mob griefing turned on. I don't know why these don't naturally stack. That's very strange to me. So now we need 4 of these and 4 furnaces. So that's 32. So half a stack. We'll just grab. Wait a minute. unstack, put that back, and then we'll need just as many iron. I don't know if you'll notice, but I have lots of freaking iron. Hopefully, everything goes well. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we have 4 of those. Now we just need some, any planks and any sticks. Looks like we'll need 4 of those. So, or 4 each, I should say. So we're looking at 16 planks and 16 sticks. Now I've been, farming my tree slightly as I go. So that's 16 for those. Well, let's break those down into sticks first. So, one more piece of wood ought to do. I've organized slightly. I've got biologicals up here as far as creature and plant. I've got miscellaneous here, and I'm trying to make this specifically like ores and smelted things, I guess. So, watermills. Now, setting this up, I don't really have the cabling necessary to I don't really have the cabling necessary to take the power anywhere, any great distance at this point, which is vastly unfortunate. I will, have to work a bit as far as getting more cabling, more plastic. No, I didn't actually know that you could swap these between. So I wonder if this also works. It does. Sweet. So you don't have to do that. That's cool. So we'll get these out of our way. Now I'm probably just going to pull power around the sides. So I seem to recall IC2 is real pain. A real pain as far as whoa, that's cool. Actually, I didn't know that it was a. I did not know that it did that. And they're full. You'll notice conveniently that my air is not running out. That is a delightful delightful side product of the Aquaminer. You no longer need to worry about drowning, and you'll notice that my mining is pretty good as far as that goes. So I think when I looked these up, somebody had said that they produce 0.1 RF or 0.01 RF a tick for every adjacent water block. And so, doing the math, a 3 by 3 by 3 cube is 25 blocks of water. A 3 by 3 by 3 cube contains 27 blocks. However, we're using one for the mill itself and one for the cable leading out. We'll just have these going the other way. We'll pretend that like that it helps water flow or some crazy thing. I don't know. So this setup appears to be working pretty well. I don't think that they are conflicting with each other as far as that goes. So as far as what the numbers mean, 0.01 doesn't sound like a lot, and honestly, it's really not a lot. But so if it's 0.01 and you have 25 blocks, each one of these water mills should be producing basically a quarter of an EU, per tick. And so 4 of them should produce 1 EU per tick, and 8 of them should produce 2. Now, once I go ahead and build myself a bat box, that was actually on my list over there, bat box. These are basically IC2 batteries, as I recall. I could be wrong. I don't do a lot with them. But I should be able to simply make these and then have them store power. So when the machines need it, they'll be able to pull off and use what they need. Because I'm hoping that I won't be using all of the machines all the time. There's a guy here. I don't know if you guys have seen me use these pistols. They're quite excitingly loud. And they work very well. They're much better than the whatever the previous version was called, the one that threw rocks. I know this. I have them here. The hand cannon. You'll notice I have a couple of them. They do actually get dropped by the mobs. You notice I have quite a lot of gunpowder that I'm collecting as well. Oh look, I have boots. So we'll throw this in here. One of the zombies dropped potatoes. So now I have potatoes. So corn, wheat, potatoes, sugarcane. I've got some. We'll fix these up a little bit more. I've got some. Whatchamacallit? Netherwort. I get it from the randomite ore. So the plan with the netherwort is my RF machines over here. Oh, see, I told you it wasn't safe. And yet another hand cannon. So the industrial foregoing machines, there's something called a sludge boiler, and it has a chance of dropping random. This isn't right. Dropping random dirt-related blocks. Dirt, gravel, soul sand, cool things like that. So there might actually be a list. Sludge refiner. So using this, you get clay, dirt, gravel, mycelium, podzol, sand, red sand, and soul sand. So I should be able to farm stuff. Now I'm probably going to set up a vanilla mushroom farm. Not a very big one, probably like a 9x9 room for red and then a 9x9 room for brown, just so that I have access to it. And then if and when I get mycelium, I'll just adjust the floor to that. It'll spread faster. Another random plan I have in the future is the industrial foregoing. I keep coming in here because I can't remember what the mod's called. But industrial foregoing has a very convenient setup for farming. You need a gatherer and a planter. And they're actually fairly. Maybe it's not plant. Here we go. Plant sower, fertilizer, gatherer, stuff like that. So there are other ways to do it. I like these because A, they're relatively easy to set up, they're relatively easy to upgrade, and once I have it set up, I can fire and forget, and it'll take care of itself. It'll take care of my wood needs as far as that goes. I think I can even use it to harvest the rubber wood, although I'm not sure whether that gives me more sap. But once I have the tree fluid extractors going, I'll need a lot of these. It takes about somewhere between 4 and 8 logs to get that full. I should be all set for rubber, because I can use plastic as rubber, and most of the machines in that also need plastic sheets, so it will have the amount of effort that I need. Because while I can use plastic sheets for the quartz, I can't use the rubber for the machines. So yeah, I'm planning on building energy cells for the RF power and the bat box for IC2. Aqueous accumulators. The way that I'm planning on getting power, at least in the beginning, is these steam dynamos. They're not a lot of power. If only I could type. They're not a lot of power. I believe that they're like 20 arithmetic. It doesn't say. They're fairly low. But I think that because it says basic and it's thermal expansion, I should actually be able to upgrade them with the upgrades from thermal expansion. But in the end, most of my RF cabling is going to be through thermal expansion ducts, because the ducts, at least, I can also move items through some of them, or fluids through some of them. So that's pretty handy. I'm going to empty my inventory, and we're going to go look at the Aqua World. I have not been in there yet. I was waiting to do it on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's change this NBT data. Now, one of the big things about going there is let's throw away some of these tools. The zombie farmers, they give you tools, so there's almost really no point in making them. You get a lot of stuff from them. I'm just going to move these here. Axe, stairs. Building supplies can go in the random junk folder. So I accidentally built like 15 of these stupid building tools because I forgot to move the slider over when I was building them. You'll notice I had all those stone wands, stone builder's wands. So this is exactly the same recipe as the building tool, and I wasn't paying attention, and I just shift clicked, and you know, you've heard the story. You've been there. You end up with 1,000 of stupid things. But yeah, enough excuses. So we don't need these, likely. Probably won't. I'll take this along. Probably won't need that. Probably won't need that. Oops. Just can go there. Yep. So remember I was talking about quests needing to be doing all of them in order. There you go. So other dimensions. So there are a total of, as far as I'm aware, and I did mention this in the previous episode, 7 mining dimensions, as far as I'm aware. So that's awkward and quite embarrassing. Oh, I changed them back, so there's overlap in that cavern. I'm special. I am very special. So, chisel, and it's a piece of gravel. Yep, I didn't like that that drawer. I was very angry at it. So, chisel. So with chisel, if you right-click, it gives you the interface. You can put a thing in there and change it. If you left-click, it changes the block in the world. If you shift left-click, it goes backwards on the list instead of forward. So, boom. All right. So I'm pretty solid this will link to exactly the same spot as before. Yeah, exactly the same spot as before, overlapping this weird future pack thing. So, sticks. I typically try to go there with a backpack, mostly because there's a lot of ores there. But also because the tools that you need. I think there's a quest for these. Here, we're just gonna take that. Just close it up. I think there's. No, maybe there's no quest. But anyway, these mine very rapidly. Notice how fast that is compared to. Okay, that actually looked the same. I don't know. They're supposed to be much faster. And when you're talking about underwater, which much of this is, yeah, see, first time I've loaded in, it takes a second. Now, this is not underwater. So there are monsters here. They, however, do not tend to fare very well. As far as, they do not breathe water. Oh, lighting weird. So this is what most of everything looks like. It's underwater. There are billions of squid here. So if you need squid, don't worry about building a farm. This is where you're probably going to get them. See how slow this is? This is why I built that shovel. Notice the difference. So that is vastly faster. I do recommend a shovel. Now these tools, they break very rapidly, at least compared to iron or diamond. But they are, you'll notice a noticeable difference on the damage bar on that. But they are exceptionally fast underwater. I do believe that they negate the penalty for being underwater, and that it stacks with Aquaminer. Now, this place is huge, and mostly it's safe, but you have to remember anywhere with access to the surface, there's going to be zombies. So a big reason to come here. So you'll see these crystals. I have not seen those elsewhere. I think I have seen them in the overworld caverns, but I haven't seen them in the regular mining world caverns, that is the dungeon dimension. Try not to use those up if I don't have to. I mean, there's more, but I'll run out of wood. And we need lots of clay because we have many clay projects ahead of us. So, resonating crystal, deep resonance. I have not done anything with deep resonance, so I expect that to be a vast challenge. If somebody has done something with deep resonance, it would be pretty helpful to show up and give me some ideas and pointers, because I don't know. What I'll probably end up doing is looking for other people's YouTube videos and Let's Plays and things like that. And that is how I will tackle that. I'll probably also look at, like, you know, the wiki page for it. They are very rude. So there's a cool thing. The bullets don't go very far in the water. So that's pretty helpful. You know what is not cool? Me and my inability to mark the portal we came in on. Yeah. So that's a thing. I'm mostly lost. But there are ores here that aren't available in the regular caves, and this place is safer to mine. I'm actually going to head back and see if I can find the portal. For example, this is the only place that I've seen charged Certus quartz crystals, and they are quite abundant here. There's also regular Certus quartz crystals, but they seem to be much rarer. I've also seen some of the future pack things here. I suspect that they are simply generated in every world. And they just insert themselves. Alright, so if I were a portal, where would I be? And I think this is actually the big cavern that, yeah, see, I've killed a thing over there. See, much safer underwater. Yeah, I think that it was over here somewhere. Because I remember the way that rock looked. Maybe. Maybe I remember. Sir, I am attempting to do things. So let's get off the water. Alright, so if I were me, where would I have stored my portal? The answer is, if I knew that, I wouldn't be me. So, cavemen. So yeah, I am maybe lost. I suppose if I had to, I could start up a new base here. I think I see my portal. Excellent. So I'm going to mark that before that becomes an issue. And on that note, it's been approximately 28 minutes, and I'm trying to be around the 25-minute mark. So we're 3 minutes over. Mark this portal here. Portal. So we'll call it here, and hopefully by the time I have progressed a little, you know, I'm recording again, I will have progressed a little bit further as far as that. I'm going to try and be collecting stuff, like this rubber, the sap for the rubber wood. But I'm going to try not to build any significant machinery except on camera. So what I will do is I will probably finish this room, and I'm planning on this being the exterior wall. Oh, spider. Right. Oops. I will probably finish this wall, and close all this in so that I don't get attacked quite as much. This is going to be the spot for the aqueous accumulator, and then I'm going to put some dynamos here for power, and then a bat box over here, or not a bat box, whatever the most convenient RF battery is, I'm going to put it here. On this side, I'm going to basically do the same thing. I will run cabling around. I'll put a bat box on one of these sides. I'm going to expand this room quite a lot. And we'll see about getting into some serious, early game IC2. At the very least, I need ore doubling from one of these mods. IC2 seems like it's going to be the way to go at first, because that's free power, gentlemen, and ladies. And I am interested in free power whenever I can get it. Once I have a coke oven done, I can start making some treated wood and have free power for the RF side as well. And I'll basically do the same thing. Is I'm just going to set up a low power generation system, and then store power, and then I will probably just be using it in bursts. I will upgrade power as we go, but that's the plan for now. All right, thanks for showing up. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, helpful tips like to help me get through some of this nonsense, then I would greatly appreciate any tips, honestly, because like I said, I'm not very good at some of these mods. That's probably why a lot of people include them, is they want the forgotten mods to be used. So, all right, thanks for showing up. Have a good night.